Good evening, everybody, and welcome to KritzKast. We have the big game of the season ready for you here tonight. It is the grand final of the ETF2L Highlander Autumn 2023 season. It is, of course, going to be a big one. We have in one corner the defending champions, Super Dickmann's KANNONEN, and we have the challengers, GANJA. Tonight's stream sponsored by Gamer Subs. Remember to use code KritzKast for a 10% discount. Go and check out their website. And I'm CeeJaey, joined tonight by Wiethoofd, the production extraordinaire, and I also have Dave with me casting. And we caught up with James to get a bit of insight into GANJA's thoughts going into the grand final.
Welcome everybody back with another interview. My name is Reflex and I'm out here with James from GANJA, the CEO of Liverpool, the manager of Team GANJA. How are you doing, James?
I'm loving life, mate. I'm looking forward to win. I've got the boys all riled up. They're looking to win.
Here we are, grand finals.
It's expected. Every single player in GANJA, my boys, everyone always thinks, oh, they're not gonna do this. They're not gonna do this. But they end up winning Division 2, Division 1. They end up getting the results, getting the statistics. So I feel like, I don't know, more respect needs to be shown on GANJA. These are good players, very good players.
Absolutely.
I'd say arguing positions stronger than Dickmann's.
Absolutely.
Easily.
I mean, you guys actually managed to get 2 points off of SDCK in the Steel Week.
You don't expect 6-0s. You go and you get a result, you get something. And people are very disappointed. They think they could have done a lot better. And that's good mentality. I would tell them to just get used to the respawn queue, honestly, mate. Honest. Right. Everyone's gonna think, ooh, Clark, he's good at spy checking and using the gun for shoots for himself. But it's GANJA. Top players, every single one of them.
You know, James, you've been an amazing guest, and I wish you the absolute best in the game coming up here. And anything else you would like to say to the people out here watching right now?
Back GANJA. Don't let Clark win NG this season. CeeJaey's better than Buddy. That's it.
That's it. Thank you very much, James. Back to the studio.
Well, James certainly had some things to say there. Maybe some insight into the tactics, saying they've been practicing a lot of cough. I'm going to bring Dave in on this because we have the map, picks, and bans to go over. And maybe that'll give a bit of an idea on what both teams are thinking going into the final in terms of what map they prefer. Dave, what have you got for us?
Yeah, so to start with, we had SDCK ban Cascade, which I think it's been one of the stronger maps for GANJA throughout the season, and it seems a sensible ban, not a map that SDCK loved in the past to a great extent. GANJA ban Upward, which I think is a good call. It's something that teams have failed to do in previous grand finals, and it's really come back to bite them. No one's even come close to beating SDCK on Upward in one of these grand finals before, so I think that's definitely a smart move. And then see GANJA pick Proplant, which has again been a pretty decent map for them. SDCK picks Steel, so they actually favour that to Vigil, which is interesting, probably based on the fact they lost to Gabagool on Vigil, I imagine, and the fact they also won that Week 5 game, although, you know, it was 2 rounds to 1, so fairly close. And then we see SDCK finally ban out Brute, and GANJA ban out that Vigil map, so neither side really wanting to play Vigil. That leaves us with a product decider.
We are KritzKast, sponsored by Gamer Subs, and we are live with the ETF2L Highlander Autumn 2023 Premiership Grand Final between defending champions SDCK. They're looking for their 15th title here tonight, and they're facing up against GANJA, winner of last week's very close semi-final. And in the early moments, the first frag is going to go the way of Jackie Legs, taking down CO. That is a huge med pick early on. However, there is a response from GANJA. They lose all of their players, but they do get DQZ. Medic have been traded, and in fact, it's a 3v4, and now it looks like SDCK coming out on the top. In the blue there, Clark gets body shot by Lucian, still alive. He's going to get jumped by Buddy, and he's going to take him down with the Sentry 2. Looks like going to be a mid-fight win for the reigning champs, and GANJA showing out strong so far, Dave.
Yeah, messy mid-fight, but they do manage to get that medic kill, manage to get themselves back from an awkward situation. But SDCK going to take control of the point, going to get the timer ticking in their favour. They're going to be able to get a decent normal kind of default hold setup as well. So seems to be where the pause came in. I don't know exactly. Presumably someone, HughesY, the demo man, disconnected. So someone you definitely want in the server for this next offense.
Yeah, HughesY was absolutely massive for them on both Koth maps last week when they won in that semi-final. But at the moment, not really had a chance to get into the game. Lucian taking down Likey, though. That is a big opening pick. JackieLegs getting traded with Blank, too. So Ubers are going to be traded on the point. But two players that we talked about in the pre-game are going to be extremely important for SDCK, getting taken down by their opposition casters very early on, and they're just getting slaughtered right now as HughesY gets 2. DQZ is dead in that respawn queue. Zero is dancing to stay alive and will do so. It looks like GANJA will manage to get the cap down. Likey also getting taken down by Unforgiven again with that revolver, and as it stands, a minute in the lead there, but very, very clean entry from GANJA there, getting the opening picks, getting the trade and claiming the point.
Yeah, I think it was a smart idea from SDCK to trade it out once the sniper did go down. That gave them about as good a situation as they could have got, given that loss, but they just didn't back up far enough, and Nebu was able to take the tail end of that Uber. W in takes out DQZ, and now GANJA is starting to exert a little bit of control. They have quite a considerable Uber advantage here, so you can see SDCK a little bit cautious, a little bit wary of that Uber coming in.
Yeah, I mean, Unforgiven was a player that you kind of pulled out there, Dave, earlier on and said would have to go huge on these maps if there's going to be a chance. Well, got a double kill there onto JackieLegs and Likey. Likey not having the best of times right now, not really given much of a chance to get into the game, as there he gets taken down by Lucian again. Lucian up to a 3k right now and doing very well, and as I say that, JackieLegs also going down. These two players just getting focused hard by GANJA, and as it stands, GANJA now have taken the lead in terms of time. Big reflect from T-Board, and do not shoot rockets at that man, and the Ubers are going to be traded. It does look like it's going the way of SDCK. Big damage coming in from Buddy, takes down HughesY. Jackie jumps in, gets air blasted away. May with the cleanup onto Kai, Lucian, Alicia, they're all going down there, and it's a pretty clean exchange and takeover by SDCK. They don't get the medic though. That's the big difference from the trade earlier on. And that does mean that it's going to be pretty much equal Ubers. A small ad here for GANJA, about 10%. Probably nothing really for them to think about. But Likey gets taken by Unforgiven again. Likey just not getting protected, constantly getting taken down here. Likey is a player you definitely want in the action here, Dave.
Yeah, that was a cheeky little stab onto him as well. Now suddenly they've lost 4 on SDCK's side, so I think they're probably going to have to give this up. And actually, DQZ can't even get out of there. Lucian once more with the sniper. He is the sniper on form at the start of this first round, and that's exactly what GANJA need. Now they have control back, and they have the Uber situation back in their favour as well. Full ad now.
Yeah, full ad. I mean, not only just getting the point for free, but doing it, getting the med pick, and keeping your own med alive with Uber is a big, big question mark over what is going to happen now. Jackie goes in for the bomb, gets taken down by the reflect from Nebu, and that does mean SDK really don't have any other players to throw forward, and look at GANJA now. They're taking this space. They're saying, okay, you throw some players forward, we've killed them, now we're going to take this space. Lucian just popping heads left, right and center, takes down Dixos there, and at the moment all I can hear is the crit shots from this sniper and the backstab sounds from Unforgiven, just picking people off who are just getting caught alone. Menek's already dominating Mezzo in this first round. 35 seconds left on the clock now, and it's going to have to be an exchange for SDCK again. It's going to have to be exactly the same as earlier. They have to get the point off of this exchange.
Yeah, it's coming in. It's on to Buddy this time, though. They're not going to drop HughesY out of the Uber. It's a decent exchange for SDCK. Lucian now is taken out by Likey with the sniper. It's another one onto HughesY, opening things up massively onto his team. You can see SDCK wants to get out of there. Mezzo is lurking, ready to try and cut them off. JackieLegs, they're all going deep into this lobby area. Buddy, May, they're all chasing super deep. Borden goes down as well. But Zio survives throughout all of it, and now that's probably a feed on SDCK's end.
Yeah, 10 seconds in the respawn queue for 3 very important players. Jackie also getting taken down by Menex, who's up to a 6k now. 10 seconds left on the clock. You really cannot be affording to give up the cap at this stage. But SDCK don't really have a choice. They don't have the players to do it. They're going to have to get onto the point now, though. 5 seconds to go. Nebu is alive to just air blast people away. And as that shutter opens, people are going to get taken down. People jumping onto the point. It's just not going to be enough. It's just jumping into a meat grinder. And the first round will go the way of GANJA. And what looked to be going so well there, Dave, SDCK managed to get the point, but they wanted more. They wanted that little bit extra, which against maybe a team not as organized, they would have got that medic pick and seen out the round. But they end up feeding those players, GANJA playing collectively together. And now we're on to the second round with the underdogs in the lead.
Oh, and Buddy is the first casualty of this mid-fight, going down super early to that body shot from deep in lobby area. You can see they want to use that demo and pick to go aggressive. GANJA Jackie Legs is providing a nuisance in the backlines. Mezzo is down onto Zio as well. Zio very, very low, just one more shot required, but Zio will just about survive, having to dip down into that lower area, get the health back. Space opening up for SDCK on the point if they want to take it, but they're cautious.
They are cautious, maybe now showing a little bit more respect to the players as they've been losing these 1v1s, and as it is, it does look like it's going to be GANJA to walk forward and win this mid-fight. Clark getting taken down by Hugie as he was just trying to get away there, couldn't get away in time. DQC surviving though, so does have that full 100% Uber. And it looks like they don't even want to wait. Mezzo with the backstab onto Lucian. No sniper to worry about now. Ubers are going to be traded. A lot of flashes coming the way of GANJA. And the air blast from T-Board puts Hugie out of a bad position into a kind of a slightly better position on the high ground. But that doesn't matter. Buddy with the pipes will take him down. And that's 3 down for GANJA now. But it's 4 down for SDCK. They're trading players. This is not an easy fight. And GANJA just do not want to give up any space of ground. They just do not want to give any inch for free.
Yeah, scrappy little fight, but with SDCK having control. Oh, there's a snipe though for Lucian. Did he catch it, CeeJaey?
Yeah, Lucian just kind of walks in, body shots DQZ just as he was kind of peeking over the shutter. And that's absolutely huge because now they're going to have this advantage. In come the sacks, as you'd expect, trying to get your medic. And the dancing from Zio is going to keep him alive. Going down to about 30 HP there. SDK just missed the kitchen sink in terms of what they were throwing forward. Like he does get a snipe onto Menix there, which at this state of the game is probably a good pick to get. But it's almost like a mirror image of what we were seeing earlier. You know, SDCK getting a good strong start, getting the lead in terms of time. Now GANJA taking the lead and having that full ad while they control the point.
Yeah, so far this Zio-Nebu axis has been very, very strong. And once more, Nebu's able to catch Mezzo just before he gets the backstab. Does manage to get the force out with the combination of Jackie Legs, so Uber is forced from GANJA's side, but they'll be okay with this situation. Still a few seconds before DQZ comes up in the Uber, but looks like SDCK are happy to go in dry.
Yeah, they want to get the cap without having to use the Uber. DQZ checking his behind, jumping around, avoiding that spam, and is just going to get the Uber now without having to use it. And SDCK get the point. That's the difference between just kind of waiting for the Uber and going in. Now they're jumping in forward. They managed to catch out Zio. Buddy taking that Uber, leaping forward with the stickies. Managed to take down. May gets another couple with the cleanup. They don't lose any players. Here come the counter section. Great air shot there from Jackie Legs. Absolute destruction onto the players launching in there from GANJA. They were trying to get DQZ, but this time he was safe and sound, well protected by his teammates. And SDCK now take the lead in the time. They have a 25% Uber ad here, Dave, and they're starting to look more like the team we know.
Yeah, they're setting up with the similar kind of aggressive hold we've seen throughout most of the game so far. It hasn't worked out too well. Unforgiven once more going in for that cheeky little stab, jumping over that wall, but this time, like he's nice and far back, Dick Sauce is ready for it as well. They're having to give up a little bit of space now on the point, allowing Lucian a bit more of an angle, but Nebu's getting launched in the air, taking a ton of damage, but not before like he's actually going to lose that SVS and open things just a little bit up there.
Yeah, Uber is going to be used here by SDCK. They're on the chase. Zio is going to have to use the Uber, but goes down extremely weak. Only has Kai to actually get any sort of Uber flash, and they have to run away, but DQC gets body shot on the retreat. That was looking so good. You know, GANJA just were in no position here. Now, SDCK don't have Uber. They don't have a medic. They have no buffs. So GANJA are going to say, thank you very much. We'll take that for free. And it's crazy how just one little pick is going to change kind of the status of this round so dramatically. SDCK were looking in control. They could have just sat back and you know, just reset there, but losing their medic and not getting Zeo means they have to try and crack this Uber advantage. Are they going to go in again dry? Are they going to try to take this without, you know, without just waiting for the Uber? It's going to be some sacks, there's going to be some damage, but nobody really going down on the side of GANJA, Dave.
Yeah, they went for it, and now JackieLegs is in, but once more reflected by Nebu, and they're going to utilize that space. Lucian goes forward, hits a headshot onto Clark, takes him out, going deeply into the SDCK lobby, almost into the spawn here.
Wow. Not very often you see SDCK pushed all the way back to their spawn. They are still in the lead in terms of the time, but they're having to fight tooth and nail for every square inch to go forward. We're going to see an Uber be used, but Buddy gets dropped from that Uber. The stickies were there. Now it's just going to be May with the rest of the Uber. A flash goes onto Clark, but no one who's really going to be able to do any sort of damage to the side of GANJA. And that was just an absolute catastrophic Uber. The stickies on the door, just enough to just derail the entire push. GANJA backing away to that safe corner now, and SDCK have no choice. They have to go and try, but Lucian with a 6k blank on a 4k. They are racking up the kills here, but SDCK walking forward. Dixos gets 1, Menix takes 5. There's a lot of players down. It's 4 up for GANJA as they've got 5 seconds left on the clock. SDCK not capping just yet. They're going to give overtime, but they're just waiting for their heavy to get back in. No, Dave! They captured just half a second too early, and the heavy spawn gets reset.
Unfortunate. Definitely not the most important class. I mean, he's going to take that teleport. He's probably going to be back and buffed before GANJA looking to push here, but that's just going to Uber straight in through the shutter. DKZ he's not risking dropping. He's popping back super early as well. They're trying to get some space for Lucian, sitting deep in that shutter, looking for anything he can take out, but he's going to get stabbed by Mezzo. Mezzo suddenly coming to the party. JackieLegs is locking down that shutter as well. There's a frag for Menix on the point, but I don't think there's enough presence. I don't think there's enough players. Nebu here and Huge here having to walk on top of it, but JackieLegs is there. They're both taken out by a pipe from Buddy. One last attempt from Blank as the taunts come in, and SDCK are just about going to snatch that round.
But they've had to work for it, Dave. They have had to work for it. We always talk about the synergy, the chemistry between these players who played together for such a long time, but there it was just individual moments. I think Mezzo coming in with a 2k just as GANJA were trying to push, and then Jackie coming in, getting a kill onto the point, getting the medic, getting damage onto another dude, Buddy cleaning up. You need your big players to turn up for the big games, and there is no game bigger than the grand final of ETF2L. We're on to the third mid-fight now, all square at 1-1 at the moment. And it does look like both teams playing slightly passive, not mirroring each other like we normally see. Hugie going to be the first casualty there, and it's going to be a big one. That's demo down for GANJA. It does look like they are the ones who want to be aggressive. They're walking across the point, trying to take the space, taking the cap. Actually, but Zeo will go down to Buddy. He takes the stickies in the face. Alicia is going to get cleaned up by T. Borden as well, and they're trying to back away, but they can't. Jackie is there, forcing the retreat to go in ways they are not comfortable with. And this is the most convincing mid-fight so far. In comes Hugie. He gets the force, Dave. He gets the force.
Yeah, that was a big clutch. He knew exactly where DKZ was, and DKZ had no idea where he was coming in from. Lands on top of him, gets the force out. I mean, there was a moment in that mid-fight I saw where both May and Buddy were single-digit health, weren't able to be finished off quickly enough. And at the end of the day, it's shaken out okay for SDCK. They're going to have the point control back. They're going to have basically even Ubers. They're going to have probably bringing the time relatively even here, but that's a nice little snipe from Lucian.
Yeah, Lucian definitely been the player who's doing the most for GANJA. That's saying something. A lot of players doing a lot of great work, but Lucian quite often getting these opening picks for his team to work around, which is so integral. But Mezzo got a couple of backstabs onto the point, just slowing down GANJA's advance. They're still trying to pressure the point dry, and this is what you want to see from your team, just getting people out of position. You know, you're stood on the point, you have to defend the point, they go into a position to defend the point, and then Lucian makes your head explode. But again, they're getting extremely aggressive. They have Uber. SDCK also have it. It's going to be a trade. Buddy taking it, Legionnaire taking it for the other side. A lot of air blast going, a little bit of juggling happening there for T Borden, as Lucian gets taken down by Jackilegs, but not before he's managed to take out Likey. Both snipers down, but no other casualties for the time being, as they're just fighting on the point. But the status quo stays, Dave. It's going to be SDCK still in control of the point, equal Ubers.
Yeah, Lucian's been doing a huge amount of work so far with very, very smart rotation, but this time Jackilegs finally was wary of it. Blank is in now deep in towards Dixos. Actually, Lucian once more is going to find that frag. Allows Blank some space, but oh, that was such an important reflect by Deepboard, and just to keep himself and his medic alive as Blank descended on top of them. So SDCK will sneak out of there. They do have the time in their favour still. They have the Ubers relatively even, so I expect a repush will come imminently.
Yeah, but Lucian, as he's so often done in this map so far, getting the opening kill, and it's onto Likey, and now that means GANJA do not have to worry about getting headshot. They don't have to worry about that insta-kill, so they're able to play a little bit more freely, and with that aggression, Hugie is able to take down May, so this is going to be an Uber from SDCK without their scout. Jackilegs in the meantime getting a frag onto Blank, but this Uber really just buys a little bit of space for SDCK. They're kind of backed into a corner here. GANJA Menix is going to get taken down, but it's just trading plays. Hugie wants to get aggressive, takes a lot of damage, doesn't die. It's just they're not giving up any space here. In comes Jackilegs, big bomb. Kai's going to go down, and there's a lot of weak players in the corner here. They could get caught out if they're not careful, but it's this aggression that's forcing people into a bad position. And Buddy does go down, but it's Zeo is going to be the huge casualty there, Dave. He's going to get body shot by Likey, and that's going to give Uber advantage for SDCK, who, for the time being, control the point.
Yeah, it's a rare kind of cap on SDCK's end where they didn't even have to win the fight convincingly. They just put so much damage down onto the GANJA boys. They wanted to back out. Jackilegs bombed him, got himself out of there somehow with just getting a single frag for his troubles. And now you can see GANJA looking to walk back in, looking to take the space. Got a little bit of a gap to him, got the force out. Buddy launching deep onto the Bats area. Zeo's still nowhere near that Uber, but they're going to claim up May. They're not going to get too many frags here, SDCK. And you can see Lucian again has free roam on that right side. He rotates now, but it's definitely an opening here for GANJA.
Yeah, I'm wondering why, though, because there's still no Uber into play. It's only 80% for Zeo. If SDCK stayed in there, you know, Blank and Nebu were down, they could maybe have just fought that dry and hoped that, you know, you get a couple of kills, they capture the point, then you have that advantage. But as it is, they've given it up for free. They are still in the lead. 30 seconds left on the clock for SDCK, coming up to the minute mark for GANJA. Jackie coming in for the bomb there. Lucian up to a 6k, dominating Dixos now. And Lucian definitely been the player with the hottest streak so far in this game. Finally going down, though, to Likey, and now that is going to be the catalyst for SDCK to go forward. May is going to take that Uber with Buddy, and with their powers combined, they will take down Nebu. But not too many other players going down, and now it's just going to be a dry fight on the point with very, very close time here. It's tantalizingly close, Dave. It's really hard to tell which way it's going to go.
Yeah, they can't deal with medics at the moment, though. He manages to recycle himself. He's still alive. May can't hit a final shot. It's bought enough time for Blank to get in onto DQC. Gets the melee kill onto the medic. And now suddenly it's going to be GANJA, who still have control of the point. They still have the lead, and they still have an Uber advantage, although not too many players to defend their medic right now.
No, it's oh, are you saying that? It's gonna be Likey with the body shot. We're seeing so many body shot kills onto the medics here, and Likey may have just done one that could have won his team the round. SDCK captured the point. Their flank is dead for another few seconds, but they have 15 seconds to hold onto this point. They have buffs, they have players. Can't be said for the same for GANJA, as they're just rolling out now, but it is all going to come down to this fight for the third round. Lucian is going to be that casualty. Dixor just guns him down. Lucian is going to get backstabbed. So much damage coming down. Jackie gets Zeo. Everybody is dead on the side of GANJA. And that third round is going to go the way of SDCK. They are 2-1 to the good, coming back from 1 round down. And they're 1 round away from winning this map. And they're 1 round away from taking their opponent map pick here, Dave, as we have entered a pause. No words from whether this is a tactical, a technical, but honestly, I feel like we're on to like map 2 at this point, because every round is going down to the wire. It's both going to like double overtime almost every single time. Any thoughts on what we've seen in these first 3 rounds?
So it's been hectic, it's been close, it's been down to the wire. Lucian has been really putting his team on his back, doing his best. He has done everything he can. I think SDCK is starting to get slightly wise at his rotations. It's still difficult for them to keep track of him. He's popping up all over the map. You know, they never know whether he's deep in shutter, whether he's on that balcony, whether he's in the corridor. So perhaps Mezzo, you know, whoever, this might be a tactical pause for GANJA. That would make sense. They are going into the kind of final potential round for SDCK. So maybe it's a tactical pause, but the thing for SDCK is they can use an opponent's tactical pause to talk their own strats. And that'll probably be one thing they're talking about. You know, Jackie and Mezzo, they need to get a grip of these Lucian rotations, because that has been the big thing. Besides that, GANJA have had, you know, a lot of success with Menix and Blank getting a lot of space, but I don't really feel yet their combos completely capitalized off it. There's a lot of times where players have been damaged, but here we go. It's potentially the final round here for SDCK.
Potentially the final round, and as we know, grand final is going to be a best of 3, so even if they win, it's not over, but it will be a morale blow if you take your opponent's map pick in the first take of a grand final. There'll be a huge mountain to climb for GANJA. But it's not over yet. Lucian does get the opening kill yet again. Takes down Likey with a headshot. And oh my word, takes down Buddy with an air headshot. As Buddy was trying to take some ground there, jumping forward. Just gets eliminated. Jackie gets 2. But in the end, it does look like it's going to be GANJA who's able to win out this mid-fight. But a little bit more safe, a little bit more reserved. And not without too many casualties. And both medics surviving there, Dave. I agree with what you said, though. Jackie and Mezzo, definitely 2 players who go massive for SDCK, but Menix is doing a lot of spy checking. Jackie is being denied a lot by these air blasts from Nebu. And we're just seeing Lucian having a lot more free time than maybe most snipers do. Overs are going to be traded onto the point. Buddy gets taken down as the flash is taken away. And it does not look like it's going good for SDCK. Hugie on the high ground, just raining death down. 4 down as they retreat with their tail between their legs. 35 seconds gone, Dave. And GANJA looking strong on this 4th round so far.
That's where the pause came in, and sadly it seems both teams have ended up with that Uber pause glitch. They are letting each other know in the game itself, so I assume they're just going to agree to play on with the situation at hand.
Yeah, just, you know, it's a glitch, but it affects both teams, and it doesn't actually change anything other than, you know, speeding up the fact that there is an Uber in play again. In comes Jackie with the bomb, does get the force, almost escapes with his life, but Lichner is going to use his anti-aircraft gun to eliminate that Nebu with a little flare gun, styling away, and Menix just being so aggressive, takes down May, and this is the big thing that's happening as Black comes in from behind, gets 1, gets 2. DQZ is dead. The cleanup is absolutely disgusting. And it's 2 alive for SDCK there. They didn't even manage to capture the point. Half the time has been gone. Menix has just been an absolute beast, walking forward and just saying, okay, Ubers are over, who the hell cares? I'm going to walk forward, I'm going to hit you with 2 meat shots and take your players down. And Blank was behind, as we've seen him do so often on this map, and cleans things up, and it's not looking good for SDCK in this round so far.
Yeah, they're caught on the point, deer in the headlights now. They're looking to pressure once more, but Buddy loses that 1v1. 2 Hugie taken out on the point. You can see immediately just everyone pins themselves back from SDCK and having to go back to the drawing board just on this push. There's still an Uber up for Zeo, but it's difficult to force without that demo man on the field.
It is. However, the snipers had a little shot there, and Likey's going to take down Lucian, so no sniper. Uber forced for Zeo as well. And less than 30 seconds left on the clock. It's not looking good. But SDCK use this Uber now. They're just going to try and catch some people out. They get Blank, they get Lucian here. Whether or not they're going to get any more, we've seen them overreach a couple of times in this position, but it's Menix! The little mosquito buzzing in behind takes down DQZ, and that was a position where DQZ, if he stays alive, SDCK have the point, they have the Uber, you know, they could just sit this out, leapfrog, and just see out the rest of the game. But losing your medic there, you're basically handing on a silver platter to GANJA, hey, here's an Uber ad, all you need to do is kill us, capture the point, and you're going to square things up on this first map.
It's got to be so tilting for DQZ. Just Menix hiding in plain sight, just sitting at the back of the point where everyone was basically up for SDCK. There is a stab from Mezzo onto Lucian, but there's still an Uber ready to go. They've dropped Menix before it though, Buddy, staying in aggressively, taking the risk. There's only 12 seconds here for GANJA, but it looks like they might not even cap. They've dropped so many players. They've used the Uber. They've got little to show other than a frag onto DQZ, which could prove important. It could prove an opportunity to recycle, replay that ad, have another go. They have the time to work with, but not a successful push there from GANJA.
It wasn't, no. They dropped Menix, they dropped QG, they dropped a lot of players. Now they're trying to go in dry, and that backstab onto DQZ could be, you know, the round-winning kill if it manages to get them across the line. But once again, they're losing players. Lucian and Hugie again going down as the team's trying to push. DQZ again going down to, again, Unforgiven. And with no heals, it's going to be really hard for them to try and block this point. Blank getting 2 kills. My voice is going here. It's getting dry. I need a drink because this has just been non-stop, Dave. It's gonna be 2-2 and we're going to go into one final round, and the winner of this round will decide the first map. We both said 3-2. You said 3-2 for GANJA, I said 3-2 for SDCK. Any idea, based on what the 4 rounds we've seen, do you think GANJA still have the edge?
It's definitely momentum for GANJA. They seem to have just warmed up, and now their combo is getting involved as well. And Blank immediately is going to jump in, take Buddy out. DQZ is nuked down by Hugie as well. Likey, just everything going correctly for GANJA, everything going disastrous for SDCK. And it's going to be GANJA taking this mid-fight very, very convincingly.
Very, very convincingly. I mean, Blank jumping in, Hugie with the stickies, and this is more akin to what we saw earlier on in the early rounds, a mid-fight win and a medic kill. It's really hard to come back from that, and now SDCK going to have to show, you know, they're going to have to show what they're made of. They're going to have to get rid of this Uber. They're going to have to try and contest this point. In comes the Sax. Buddy is going to just launch a bunch of damage into that corner. Menix will die, but that's not what they wanted. That dispenser armor proving invaluable for Zeo as he just hides there, doesn't take a lick of damage, and he's still got 100% Uber. We're getting close to 100 for DQZ, and it's probably just going to be another trade here, Dave. As Lucian does go down, that may be the catalyst.
Possibly, and the force is actually out. It's going to be used onto Hugie. They launch Buddy up in the air, but the Uber's ready for SDCK. They take it in. They're looking. This nice reflection from Nebu's going to keep Zeo alive just about for now. Mezzo is lurking in the backline, so we'll see if SDCK want to press the issue or not, or they'll just be happy to take some control back of this point with a relatively even Uber situation.
Yeah, I feel like they're being a little bit more reserved now. You know, they're showing a little bit more respect to the GANJA players, because every time they kind of overextend and try to get aggressive, maybe catch out the medic or any retreating players, they have been punished for it. And right now, they do not want to fight this. They're trying to rotate from the left corner to the main shutter, but it's not worked out well for them as Blank gets 3! He takes down the entire combo team. Gordon and Buddy and Dixels all going down to the rockets of GANJA's soldier, and that is absolutely massive. And this is the moment where you start to say, these are the players who are creating the openings to win the rounds. They're a minute ahead now, and just 1:30 left on the clock. all they need to do to hold on to win the first map of this grand final and put a big step towards the title. SDCK have all the work to do. They have the Uber. They're going towards the point now. It looks like they want to take a trade maybe onto Buddy here. He's getting the cap time, and the Uber will come in. The counter comes in from GANJA. A lot of players getting flashed across the point. May has been taken down by Menix, who is also just running in behind and maybe causing some havoc behind enemy lines. SDK will get the cap here, Dave, but Menix does get taken out. I think Likey there is gonna say to his team, hey guys, there was a scout behind. Maybe we need to be aware of that.
Jackie Legs doing what Blank did just a minute ago, sat in that corridor for ages and ages, just kept himself alive, blocked the exit, waited for an age, and finally the players had to walk back into them, served them up a 5k, and now it's going to be SDCK looking to get a little bit cheeky into their opponent's lobby. I don't know if Likey's got the memo though that everyone else is going back and he's going to get caught out. Very unforced error there on SDCK's side.
Yeah, it's little things like that. Medic down now gives Lucian a bit of free reign. With that free reign, he's going to take down Buddy. Uber's going to have to be used. It's Jackie Legs who has to take the majority of that charge because there is no demo to take it forward. T-Borden also getting taken down by Lucian. He's just taking shots, taking these body shots. Big move from Jackie Legs. He does get 0. He's on a 7-kill streak before he gets taken down by Kai, and that is massive. That could be absolutely round winning for SDCK. Their Zia was alive. He had 50% ad, but Jackie Legs bombing across the point does get the kill. It looks like GANJA are going to maybe catch at this point here, approaching the minute mark. They're 15 seconds ahead here, Dave, but it's so close to them potentially losing this round.
Yeah, GANJA had to delay their cap quite a long time there now, but SDK are not comfortable. Like is having to snipe on low health from the low ground. Blank is in behind as well. This time May deals with him, but SDCK looking to muscle back onto the point, starting to get some cap time in their favour. Jackie Legs jumping in onto the roof. There's space now. The cap is probably going to come in. I don't see anyone in position to block here from GANJA, so they'll have to take another go. But it's actually a KritzKast coming out!
Unbelievable. Just as you think SDCK have all the tools in their toolbox to see out this round, in comes a crits from Hughie, and he goes huge with it, taking down every possible player you could want him to take down. The medic, the demo, the sniper, the heavy with the trailing pipe. And now they are 10 seconds away from winning this round and winning this map. Lucian is going to get another kill there as the bodies are flying in from SDCK, but it's not going to be enough. This time it's their turn to jump into the meat grinder, and it is going to be GANJA who's going to take this first map 3-2 on Proplant. They strike the first blow against the defending champions. Oh my word. I don't think we've seen that close of a map in a grand final for quite some time.
It's game on, baby. It's, I mean, GANJA just had everything going for them. They knew what they needed to do. They knew they needed to unsettle SDCK a certain amount. They knew they needed to, bank on the fact that their flank could do so much work, and it really paid off. And I think the thing we didn't really talk about too much before the game, but was a huge factor, was how impactful Lucian was. And despite having to play into a certain level of chaos, despite having to play aggressively and take it to SDCK, they were also able to support their sniper to put in a masterful performance.
And we did manage to catch up with Jackie Legs for an interview to get an idea on the insight and the mindset of the players going into tonight's final.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back once again out here with another interview, interviewing a member of the team Super Dickmann's KANNONEN, and we got Jackie Legs, the soldier, the flank extraordinaire, on the mic. What's up, Jackie?
Hey, what's up?
All right, Jackie, you got a big game tonight. Perhaps you feel right now it's the usual win as usual, and you're gonna get your 15th bag. If I remember correctly, it's your 15th bag. It doesn't even know him. It can't even count him himself, But how you feeling about tonight's game? Do you feel an actual difference here?
In terms of the past, I don't know, but in terms of right now, we're feeling confident and well. The team is doing good. We had a very fun season with a lot of roster changes and some switch-ups. So the team feels confident and very excited to play the final. Yeah.
I mean, it's all about having fun out here, to be honest. But you guys landed a 4-2 against GANJA on your Steel week. Are you perhaps concerned over that?
Not really, I would say. Obviously, it's never fun to lose points, but the one round that we did lose was I think it was on the very last second they capped. So it was very, very close. And either second here or there could have changed the situation for us. So, not that worried, no.
You know, I ask this question every time I interview you, Jackie, but who do you think will be the MVP of both your team and Team GANJA?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. I think our MVP would be either Lakey or Mezzo. That's always a good bet to bet on those guys to show up when the big game happens. And on GANJA, I would say probably the same. Maybe Lucian, maybe Blank. Their soldier might be good. Maybe Hughie or Hughie, maybe one of them. Yeah,
The soldier v Solly will
keep
be
an eye on
insane
them.
here.
Yes, hell yeah,
Indeed.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Jackie Legs, and we'll go back to the studio right here.
How big will it be if they end up winning here? If GANJA end up winning this and taking it to her, how much of an upset would that be?
I think it would be pretty massive. We've seen now 11 seasons in a row SDCK winning this title. Most of those grand finals haven't even been close. A lot of them have been most of them have been 2 maps. Some of them have been under an hour in total. So them even to win a map is impressive, but were they to actually clutch this out, given this is a brand new team for this season with several players who haven't really played high-level Highlander, that would be something crazy.
I think it may be the first time that Jackie Legs would not win a title in ETF2L since season 12 or something. I need to fact check that. But if you are joining us right now, it is the second map of the grand final. GANJA picked Proplant and won it in an incredibly close 3-2 game. But onto Steel. SDCK do love a round or two of Steel. It's going to be GANJA in the blue attacking first, and then SDCK in the red trying to defend and then beat that time later on. And it's just a little bit of A capping, not much.
Steel can turn around in a blink of an eye. You only need to win one team fight convincingly, get some wipes on that red team. They get 20-second plus spawn timers, and it can go from looking impossible to you capping within 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, obviously the map changes as we are coming out of the pause now, and it's often a toss-up. Do you want to try and get those bridges out? Do you want to try and get as many players on the point as possible? Do you want to lock down those spawns? What do you want to do? And as we say that, Menix is on the point here, Dave, and he's trying to get some E-cap already.
Yeah, just a little bit of a bait. Looks like everyone is rotating back down that drop-down area, but Mezzo was alive in White Room. Is probably going to have pulled it out, and SDCK are already in position. But there's a big stab from Unforgiven onto that demo man of Buddy before it comes in. There's already a banner up for Jackie Legs, so they're going to use that kind of fake demo man soldier to go in, jumps up top, takes out Lucian, takes out Blank as well for a double up. SDCK won't be happy, though, that they do not have a demo, so they're going to have to just play a little bit passive.
That's a big stab coming in from Mezzo. Takes down Zeo, and medic down means it's going to be a lot harder for SDCK, for GANJA to try and break SDCK's hold here as Dixos just takes name after name with the Tomislav, and now they can reset, go back to their default position. And this is something we often see from teams that try to go for an AE, try to invest some of their resources in a different place. If it fails, then you have to rotate, and the same thing can happen if you push B and you fail. You're kind of back to the drawing board here. This is where the pause happened, and it does seem that I think it was Zeo who actually left the game. So he did have maybe 10-20% Uber, and now that's been reset. So losing a few seconds there, Dave, but we're basically back to square one again.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate actually. Lucian is going in through drop zone. They've only just spotted him. He does miss the shot. He's still there, hasn't been taken care of, and they're actually going to force out the Uber onto DQZ. They do take care of Lucian eventually, but SDCK have no flank alive, they have no demo man alive. Listener's up top trying to rain down damage. He actually is able to win a 1v1 with Dixos, focusing on him rather than the medic, and that's allowed Blank to sneak in behind, takes a 2-for-1. DKZ and May both down, and now a third Clark.
Wow, that is huge. We keep seeing Blank pull off these massive plays, and that's going to be enough for them to go in. And we often we say all it takes is one mistake on this map as the defending team, and you can see a snowball coming in from blue. And DQZ dead, full Uber ad here for Zeo. They have B under lock. All they need to do now is play this kind of like checkmate in 3 moves almost. That's not one of the moves they needed to do using Uber when no one's around. As Jackie Leg, I think, got the force. But they actually haven't captured B yet, Dave.
Yeah, Jackie Legs blocked B. Buddy was providing resistance pretty much alone in that connector area as well, so just bought a little bit of time for themselves. SDCK 343 is not a particularly good time through 3, so they'll have to step up their game, they'll have to step up the pace a little bit, and I think SDCK will be happy that with the Uber getting forced out as well, that situation is slightly back in their favour as well. They're going to give the C cap up. Rarely see top level teams contest, but Mezzo gets 2 more.
He gets Zeo, and you know what? A long time ago, people said that this map was not good for Spy, but honestly, Mezzo has got the most amount of points on the server, other than the medics right now. He is getting Zeo over and over again. And that's massive. That's massive. C point does go down. You see those bridges extended, like he getting a little boost on that bridge, just kind of going towards the midpoint. But as it stands, 4:14 isn't the fastest time we've seen for their first 3 points. SDCK not doing too badly, holding on at the moment, and GANJA not doing terribly as they're trying to pressure D now, but they're not in the best position they'd probably like to be in, as they're being chased into White Room with this Uber.
Medix just walks into the combo, gets the force out. He's still lurking in behind on the D point, but he is taken out. You can see DKZ left alone. He's encircled by the GANJA players. They take him down. They're going to continue that D cap. Finally, that flank spawns up to contest from the top of D, but they didn't have that for a good 20 seconds there on SDCK, and they paid hugely for it.
Yeah, they're in a really, really bad position now. They're going to get their full complement of respawn soon, but there is an Uber in the hands of Z. He's going to use that now onto Hugie. Jackie Legs goes down. He's being air blasted away in that tunnel, but just gets so much damage down. Dixor's dead, and so many players dying as they try and come out of the respawn. Nebu and Menex just kind of chilling on the point, getting that cap time. And at this point in time, I think it may be just guaranteed. It's going to take a massive play here from Buddy. He's trying to get some spam onto the point. Does manage to get some damage done, slowing the time, buying as many seconds as possible, which at this moment in time is all they can really do. And that could be crucial in the grand scheme of things. 6:04, that definitely would have been a sub 6 minute time if it wasn't for the fact that we saw some spam coming in from Buddy and May, just pressuring that cap point, buying as much as they can. But 6 minutes, not too bad. I think GANJA won't be too upset about it. At the same time, I think SDCK will say, well, we can probably beat that.
Yeah, I think these days Prem level teams are used to setting sub 6 minute, sub 5 minute oftentimes. So it's definitely a competitive time. There's definitely not too much room for SDCK to make errors. They can't make too many mistakes. They can't have long periods of time where they're struggling to make a push, but there's more than enough time for them to win.
Well, I mean, we could see some interesting new strats coming out of GANJA on the defense. Maybe they've been to the drawing board and come up with some tactics of their own. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, 6 minutes is definitely an average-ish time, and SDK will be thinking, yeah, we can definitely beat this, we can definitely pressure it, and already they are pressuring B with players. They're only sending a couple to A to get the cap. They don't want to waste any time whatsoever. They want to make sure that B is going to be under constant pressure regardless of what else is going on.
Yeah, Unforgiven got found on A as well, so that's going to be some information that is not going to be afforded to GANJA that SDCK had on their defense. When you have the spy calling from either White Room or A, you have a much better idea in terms of where that combo is rotating, where that medic is, where that demo is going to be putting damage down, and crucially, potentially that sniper as well. That sniper going in through drop down can be called out by the spy, but beyond that, it's very, very difficult to deal with.
Yeah, the big question is, what are they going to do here as Lucian takes down Likey? May using that bonk, trying to make sure the sentry is distracted. Blank jumps up to try and maybe get some pressure onto those players, just gets denied, and Lucian getting taken down by Mezzo. Doesn't manage to keep the sapper onto the sentry. Uber comes in now, and it's going to be traded. This Pyro and Demo, just really, really difficult wall to get through, as well as a wrangled sentry. The conch is being busted out as well. And it's not too easy to get in through that area when you've got everybody in a position to just sort of deny with spam and an air blast. And honestly, SDCK not really achieving too much with that Uber.
It's a little bit slow and ponderous from SDCK. They had a spy pick they didn't make the most of. They had a sniper pick they didn't make the most of. They had a sentry sap they didn't do anything with. Now Jackie Legs is jumping in, but Nebu is there, deals with him. They're surviving now, just that one loss. They have lost control of that concrete area, but the sentry gun at the moment and Blank up top on the soldier is just about enough to deal with it.
Yeah, the big thing was that getting the heavy up on the high ground was massive, because there's the teleporter entrance just underneath, takes you straight into that house on the balcony, and Alicia was able to get damage, get kills onto people coming up the stairs. But as it looks like we're going to see a little rotate here from SDCK. It looks like they're going for the AE. Likey gets Lucian, and that's going to be a lot of free reign now as they're starting to approach this area. May on the cap, and I'm not sure if this is, you know, SDCK feeling a little bit desperate or just trying to pull people apart and, you know, just get some pressure onto different angles to make them question where they need to defend, but they're defending pretty well. But Hugie going down, 20-second respawn for the Demo Man, and the Pyro going down. Uber's going to be used, and SDK are going into deep. They're going into B from behind. There's a wrangled sentry and a solo engineer. He's trying to defend it. In comes Jackie. Misses a couple of rockets, but they will get the kill on the gun and the NG. But the counter Uber is going to come in much, much later on. Zio is there, maybe not in the best position. Takes a rocket, nearly dies. SDCK still fighting for B. 3 minutes left on the clock here, Dave. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, big battalions from Blank as well, going to launch back up top. They had to give up some space, they had to give up some cap time on B, but SDCK are only now able to come back. Blank gets another frag traded out onto May. That's probably going to be B over here for GANJA. Just Unforgiven walking in, trying, gets one stab nicely onto Dixos. They're looking to actually continue to contest, continue to bleed SDCK out, and Menix is just plowing forward here.
I just, the missing, they're trying to revolve with the medic, missing the 3 shots and then getting the drive-by backstab onto the heavy. But like he's had like Lucian's number so far on this map, but that's not really counted for too much because 2/3 of the time is gone. Buddy does get Zio, and there's going to be no medic for 20 seconds. That's going to be really, really detrimental to the defensive efforts from GANJA. Buddy falls into the pits.
He didn't just fall, he was destroyed by Blank there. Blank just hit it. Oh, and another shot from Blank onto Jackie Legs. Denies both the Demo and the Soldier, tried to jump up onto him in heaven, just absolutely controlling that space. And while the C-Cap is coming in here for SDCK, they can't get any presence up into that heaven area. Can't get any threat onto E. Mezzo is caught out as well. They're rotating to look to lock down this death corridor, but at the moment no openings are there for SDCK.
No, C point has been capped, so those bridges are going to be extended. It's going to make it a lot easier for people to come. But the Uber comes in now through death corridor onto E spawn. Zio has jumped into this one, only has about 60% Uber, and the sentry is only level 1. Watching the point, it's enough to take down Buddy though. Oh my word, everybody is dying, and in comes Blank Hugie. They don't even need an Uber to defend D, and 1 minute left on the clock here, Dave. You need to get your asses onto the point already. It does take a while for that last point to go down.
Yeah, it's generally around 30 seconds, but Blank is jumping in and taking out Buddy before they can do anything. They are pressuring in through the main connector. It's going to be an Uber, though, up here for GANJA. Clark is jumping into the middle of it. There's a little bit of an air blast by Borden, but isn't able to launch anyone off. May is continuing to try and keep the cap time in SDCK's favour. Nebu is looking to rotate through the backlines as well, but they're losing players here. GANJA, suddenly Dixos has control of Heaven himself. A listener's kind of stuck between a bunch of players. Nebu and Menix now run into the connector just to buy a little bit of time. I don't think there's enough time for SDCK despite the bleed from GANJA here.
Yeah, it doesn't matter as long as they keep trading. And honestly, this is the position you want to be in as a demo man or a soldier, because everyone on the attacking team needs to get onto the point, and you can just shoot your damage straight onto that point. Jackie Legs gets a kill, but it's only going to be for the logs. As it's gonna be the first round of Steel going the way of GANJA, and they are now 1 round away from becoming ETF2L champions, and the first team to do it other than SDCK since, I want to say, season 18, Dave?
Yeah. Overall, GANJA didn't do anything crazy, but individually Blank had a huge showing, both on offense, where he got behind that one flank onto B and got those 3 crucial frags as SDCK tried to leave, but also on defense. There was a situation where GANJA had lost a bunch of players, were threatening to lose Heaven. He just hits air shots onto both Jackie and Buddy, knocks them down into the pit, completely denies Heaven alone.
They have this round to prove that all of that is wrong and it was just a blip. We'll have to see. And yeah, like we said, GANJA are championship point now. If they win this round, they're going to become champions of ETF2L for the first time. SDCK need to win this round and then another round on Steel in order to force it to product. Predictions, Dave. I mean, at the start, you did say 3-2 to GANJA, but you thought Steel was just going to be, you know, it was going to be SDCK's stomping ground and they were going to take it in 3. Do you still feel that way?
I don't think it's going to be that easy for GANJA. I think SDCK are going to make a game with this.
Okay. I mean, the first one was... the first map was close. The second map has been close. We'll see if it's going to be even closer. It's going to be SDK attacking first this time, so they'll be trying to set the time, and they'll be the ones dying first. Dixos taking a pipe to the face. And this B point was the stumbling block for them in the previous round. I'm going to have to see where they've learned it. 4 minutes is a long time to be spent before they decided to go for an AE cap, and then that didn't really work out for them as they kind of like wrapped around, went drop down. It does look like it's going to be AE again, Dave. Do you think this is a smart choice?
Yeah, because I don't think they got too much from their B pressure previously, and they ended up just doing this anyway, so it makes sense to do it a full minute faster this time. At least start to get some cap time on E and think about the rotation.
Yeah, often it's not kind of dedicating too much to the push, but more pulling people out of position. It does look like we're getting some cap time on E from May. But there is a level 3 sentry. It does look like people are moving. Maybe now it's going to be the drop down push. Maybe they're just going to be moving about. Yes, here comes the combo of SDCK. And there isn't as many defenses as that sentry has been sapped and taken out. But it is going to be an Uber trade on the B point. A lot of flashes happening. A lot of players being tried to keep alive. Elishina getting juggled into the air. Menix and him going down. DQZ, though, getting backstabbed by Unforgiven. Once again, coming in huge. And Hugie and Lucian also chipping in with some frags. It's 5v5 at the moment. But Mezzo gets the double. And I think with that sentry going down to Jackie, that may just spell the end of the B defense for GANJA. And that was a little bit quicker here, Dave. But still not as clean as we've seen from them before.
Yeah, I mean, they've lost their medic, which isn't great news, but any situation like this is always going to favour the blue team. They rotated back onto B, they got the sap, they got the job done, they've got enough frags that they've taken B here. But we'll have to see whether GANJA are looking to hold up in this connector, because at the moment Hugie is alone, he could get rushed down.
Like he takes down Unforgiven with his sword. Can't remember the name of that weapon, but we are seeing BC connector gameplay, which is pretty much just spam coming in both ways, and if you get caught, you say goodnight. But that's working well for SDCK at the moment because they have mate on the points. Getting spammed by Blank now. And Blank likes that position as it was a traded. Buddy and Dixel's both going down. And you think, why did they go down? It's because we didn't see an Uber from DQZ. He's held onto that charge. And now this huge Uber advantage could potentially snowball for them onto a couple of points.
Yeah, it can be difficult to make the most of these Uber advantage scenarios on steel, particularly on this C point. They don't really want to pop in, going straight into C. It's difficult to go into E with this Uber until that C is capped. So they're actually going to get forced out on C. They're going to take Hugie for their troubles. Actually, Borden launches himself up nicely. Nearly is able to get down onto Blank, but I think GANJA will be happy to settle for C cap going down, and they'll look for a stronghold on E here.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take, with these spawns closing down, the bridges extending, all of this just really puts them into a decent position. Clark already on to D point, getting some presence. Death Corridor has been surpassed, but Hugie is still alive. He's going to take down Dixos just by peeking his head out of the spawn and raining some stickies down, but it has brought some players towards D point, which now means BC is unguarded, unprotected. There's a level 3 in heaven in the doorway. Jackie jumps up and somehow manages to get in there. He's fighting with Blank, will die, but the sentry has gone down, and it's going to give a little bit more time, a little bit more space for this to get forward, but Lucian gets DQZ, gets May with 2 quick headshots, and that's just going to be devastating to their push chances.
Look at this teleporter though, up in the forward spawn. DQZ's taken it, and he's got enough players surround him, but Blank jumps in, gets 1 rocket onto DQZ, can't find the second crucial rocket, so DQZ will live for now. He'll go back, get that health back. There's cap time coming in. It's not too many players up. There's no position here for GANJA, but they do have an Uber. They're going to launch Dixos up in the air, but he's able to drop down to the lower area, and Hugie gets sniped on his escape as well. Lucian taken out. Suddenly SDCK are starting to take control of this E cap and start to get some cap time in their favor.
Yeah, this teleport is massive. It's getting people directly onto the E point, and that's huge. Like you said, got DQZ back into the action straight away, and he was able to get those buffs out. But the thing is, Likey is stood on that teleporter, and that gives him enough height to peek over the grating and is able to just snipe people as they come out from E spawn or peek in the window. He's on a 6k right now, and it's been absolutely massive to them actually getting some space and time as the defense is coming in. Blank and Menex, even Zio getting some kills. There's 2 alive here. There's a level 1 sentry. Kai is just wrangling. He's buying time. It's a medic and an engineer, and Buddy's going to have to go into BC connector rather than cap. Is still up and just maybe buying enough time for some more respawns. Definitely buying time in terms of just slowing down the time it's going to be. It's gonna be slightly faster than what we saw from GANJA earlier on, but that teleporter position just allowed Likey to do so much work there, Dave, and I think may have been the reason that SDCK were able to finally get control of E.
Yeah, absolutely. Steel's generally a map that's considered pretty much the worst engine map. It's definitely a map where engines don't tend to get particularly good logs, don't tend to have a lot of impact. They often get super bullied as well. But both engineers showing their worth. Clark with that huge important teleporter to that old spawn, getting that up, and there were so many important teleports in, particularly from DQZ coming in and allowed them to just continue pressure up onto that E point. But then KCAM almost able to clutch it, bought a decent amount of time for his team, could prove crucial towards the end of that round. He bought, at least 20 seconds there, just having a wrangled level 1 gun, holding that point alone.
Yeah, often engineers don't get enough of the credit in, doing stuff for their team. It's kind of, you do your job well and, no one notices. If you fail, then people are like, oh, what did you do that for? But KCAM definitely doing a great job wrangling a level 1 mini with no teammates around him, and just buying precious seconds to just make the time slightly longer. But Buddy got the stickies up, doing taunts to try and check the crit stickies, maybe catch somebody off guard. If you're on the blue team and you hear a taunting demo in this position, you're thinking, okay, I mean, there is the fact that it's Scream Fortress, Dave, does mean that sometimes it's a silent taunt. It's like the zombie taunt, so maybe that will help, but No, I think these teams are all too aware of the crit stickies at this point.
They're just trying to muscle their way and maybe get a force on DKC. Yeah, super early force comes in. They lose a lot of players for it, but Zeo is not going to be one of them. Very, very nice, successful sack wave. And Buddy loses a 1v1 to a sentry gun.
I was just going to say, like, that's an absolute nuke from Buddy. And then, you know, maybe like a little misplay coming out. 10 seconds, no demo on B point. It's going to put a lot of pressure on Jackie and onto T-Borden to make sure no one comes in here. It doesn't look like they're going for an AE or anything like that. They really do want to pressure this B point. Conch coming out from Jackie, trying to defend the area now. Still 100% Uber for Zeo, 75 for DQZ. Jackie down, and this upper area, no teleporter. It's going to be very, very easy to spam, as Menix is already kind of pressuring, and Likey is going to go down to Lucian. DQZ goes down to Hugie.
Hugie launched himself massively high with the Uber and manages to land those stickies down onto DQZ. No escape for him. There's 4 down for SDCK, but it may as well be 5 because it's so many important players. T-Board on Buddy, DKZ, Likey, 4 probably the biggest frags to get on a steel map, and they're already looking to pressure into the connector. Hugie's already got a little bit of spam down, looking to spawn cap onto E. Looks like they're not even going to bother with C right now. Going to start to think about that E cap, but actually with Hugie getting flanked by Jackie Legs, maybe C will be back on the table.
Well, 99%, 1% is the difference between DQZ dying there and having an Uber popping and potentially having his team regain control of the B point with a good counter Uber. As it is, there is 3 minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock. GANJA using their Uber here onto C, trying to take some space. There is a wrangled sentry from Clark, a level 1, and it does look like SDCK not comfortable in sitting back on E with the amount of time left on the clock. They want to buy as much time on each point as possible, so they are hard defending C here. DQZ does have the Uber. We see Blank and Menix on the point, so sorry, on the E point, that is, now controlling the E side spawn, so it's gonna have to be a rotation as, oh my word, DQZ gets backstabbed. He drops to Unforgiven.
Crucial phase here now. They've just got to fight this out with no heals on SDCK, and suddenly they're only 4 up. There's already half cap time. There's already a spawn camp coming in. Buddy's having to fight from the dungeon area, but Listen's able to drop down onto him. Buddy just about escapes. There will be a health pack for him shortly, but he's going to have to recycle, and the cap time is back up. You got a spotty on there, you got a medic up on there, you got a pyro up on there. There's 6 times cap coming in. T-Border's trying to launch himself in. Buddy having to block, but Listen's there to take it. And there we go. GANJA are going to win this Premiership title.
4.5 years since the last team won ETF2L Premiership Highlander. SDCK looking for their 15th title. Their 11th, 10th, 11th, 12th in a row, I don't know at this point, but they have been the top dogs for so long now, and they come into every game the favorite, every final the favorite, and they have just been beaten in the grand final 2 maps to 0. GANJA winning Proplant 3-2 and then winning Steel against SDCK, their map pick 2-0, and they're going to be your autumn 2023 Premiership champions. And well, everybody watching, you've just witnessed history.
Wow, I'm speechless, to be honest. That was not really what I expected coming into today. You know, I always gave GANJA a chance. I've got to respect how good a team they are, how good of players they are individually as well. But this is something special and something that so many teams have tried over the years to defeat this SDCK side. And for 11 straight seasons, no one was able to do it. Few teams even came particularly close. But here we go, GANJA, they step up, they put themselves forward. You know, let's talk about super team, SDCK killers coming in from Barbieland. but seems like GANJA were the SDCK killers at the end of the day.
We are going to be joined now by some of the players from both teams. We're joined by Blank and HughGee from the winners, GANJA, and from SDCK we have Clark and Likey. Welcome everybody. I'm going to ask the first question to the new reigning champions. Blank, HughGee, how do you guys feel after being the first team in over 4 years to win ETF2L other than SDCK?
I'm absolutely amazed, bro. Like, I'm shaking. That was really, really, really well played from my team. Like, everyone played at their fucking... Oh, my bad. They played at their peak. Like, they were really good. But, like, insane plays from, like, everyone in the team. Like, even Unforgiven at, like, when he was lagging, he was just going crazy with the plays. And, I don't know. Everyone played really well today, honestly.
Yeah. Unforgiven especially. So many clutch plays from him. Like, during the entire game.
I mean, I felt like I said your guys' name the most, especially on Steel. I mean, starting off with Proplant, like, it was a map that you guys played very well on, you know, over the course of the season. Blank, we did point you out, not to make your head grow any bigger at this point in time, but we did say at the beginning of the game, you and Menex on the flank to cause the damage, and you guys did do so. Do you feel like you played Proplant how you wanted to play? Did you have to adapt depending on anything SDCK did, or was it just kind of business as usual?
For me personally, I think I got rolled a lot by Mezzo and Jackie kind of like coordinating on flank to kill me. That like it kind of made me die a lot, and I wasn't like ready to bomb in when my team needed to, because I just got caught by that over and over again. But I don't feel like I was playing at my best in Proplant for sure, but I mean, yeah, as I said, like, the rest of the team clutched up, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys took it 3-2. That was actually Dave's prediction. He did say 3-2 to GANJA on Proplant. But moving on to Steel, I think the general consensus was Steel is a map that SDCK have played so many times and traditionally very comfortable on it. HughGee, coming onto that, like, did you feel like after winning Proplant, did you think, yeah, we can do this in 2? Or did you have like half a mind on product at that time?
Yeah, I mean, we were feeling really confident on Steel after our warm-up games, and yeah, we had discussed the map after we lost SDCK a lot, like we have discussed, and looked through the map and talked about it a lot, so we were feeling really confident going into it. And
I mean, did you scrim Steel a lot, or was it just kind of, did you just focus on your Koth? Because a lot of the questions pre-game was the fact that there were 2 Koth maps, and you guys, you know, Dave even had some stats. He had a little table and everything that you guys consistently lose on stopwatch, whereas you're very good on Koth. So did you practice Steel more, or did you just say, you know, we got 2 Koth maps, we're good?
Alright, can I say this, Hugo? We absolutely suck on stopwatch and Steel. I don't know how we pulled it off, but we were a Koth team. So we were like, at least, like, I'm pretty sure like 90% of our team was like thinking of product, but again, like, we played really well in the warm-up today, so we had some hope, like, going into Steel, but we're definitely more of a Koth team than anything.
I appreciate the honesty. That's what we want to hear. That's what we want to hear. Guys, moving over to Clark and Likey, commiserations for losing. It's probably a weird feeling because it has been so long. What are your initial reactions? Like, what are your initial thoughts? Obviously disappointment, but what's going through your head after that final?
I'm in a bit bittersweet because we obviously wanted to keep the record going. Like, we always knew it's not possible, like, to keep it forever. It was always bound to happen eventually. I'm glad it happened against this team because this is a very good team. I think if we lost to Joe or Stinkan, we would be a lot more upset. But since it happened against this team, it's fine. Like, we're not too worried. Like, obviously we're upset, but given the circumstances, like in some personal lives of some of our players in the past week, we're not too surprised. Like, we're upset, but we're not surprised. It's obviously not an excuse, but it is what it is.
Yeah, this is like the first season. Like, this is like the first final where I actually started shaking when we went to Steel. So, like, it kind of sucks, but whatever. what can we do? We didn't play our best, and it was bound to happen.
I mean, coming into the game, did you have your kind of regular confidence? Like, did you think, oh yeah, did you look at GANJA and say, yeah, this is a game we should be winning? What was like the general feeling with the team? Like, did you think this was going to be a win, or were you kind of unsure?
I mean, we were hyping ourselves up. We were positive, but obviously, it wasn't to be. Like, there was no complacency, I can tell you that much. Like, we came in prepared, and we wanted to win, and everybody was trying their best. I don't think everybody was playing their best, but everybody was trying their best. That's for sure.
I'm gonna be honest. When I saw the maps, I just knew it was gonna be a really hard game. Like, we saw them, the GANJA play on Proplant in the semifinals or whatever that was, and they like absolutely rolled the other team. And I started shaking again. Like, how are these guys so good on Proplant? But then I saw we picked Steel. I was like, okay, maybe there's a bit of small chance that we could win this. But and then the day arrived, and didn't seem like it was gonna win. It's gonna be a win for us.
I mean, you touched on the maps there. This was something that Dave and I were talking about in the pregame. How, and like we just saying to the boys from GANJA, they lose a lot on stopwatch and they win a lot on Koth. Picking Steel and then leaving sort of product as the decider. Did you not feel Vigil may have been like an option to pick as well, or were you not happy playing Vigil because of earlier in the season?
Well, actually, funnily enough, the results in the season had nothing to do with us picking Steel and not picking Vigil. We just expected, we just didn't really feel comfortable on Vigil just in general during the season. So even if it did win in our official against Yak's team during the regular season, I think we still would have probably picked Steel over it. Like, obviously the number one pick would be Upward, but Upward was banned by GANJA. So.
Well, I mean, it's a weird scenario, weird time for me to be asking questions to you guys second, but it is what it is. It's been a momentous occasion, and we had a lot of people watching. Dave, do you have any questions for the guys before we move on?
I don't really have any questions about today, but I do want to touch on the future potentially, starting with you guys on GANJA. You going to be back next season to defend your title?
What do you think, Hugo? What do you think?
We'll see.
At least for Hugie, I heard there were some plans for him to play with his old team, but I mean, I really like my team. I like everyone in the team. So I'm just hoping if Hugie finds or plays with his old team, that we just get maybe a different demo. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things happened during the season and stuff, but a lot of drama. But I don't know. We'll see what happens after the season.
All right, and SDCK, you guys gonna bounce back next season?
Wait, what is that phrase? We will be there no matter what.
We will be there no matter what.
No matter what. Yeah.
We were posting that picture every single time we had a game, and we would be like, we will be back.
How did that work out for Klopp last season, Clark? I feel like
no, don't start that. Don't.
But that's good to hear. That's good to hear from both of you. It's definitely maybe the start of a new rivalry. Who knows? Is it going to be one and done from GANJA, or is it going to be the start of a new era? Who knows? But thank you very much, both of you guys, or all of you guys, sorry, both teams, for joining us and talking with us. We can do a few shout outs before we move on. We'll go down alphabetical order. So starting off with Blank, anyone you want to shout out to?
Shout out to the manager, James Wars. Honestly, without his coaching, it was almost impossible. But yeah, shout out to my team. Shout out to you guys for the cast. It was really good game. Shout out to SDCK, honestly, and shout out to Gamer Subs. I don't think I'd played that good if it wasn't for Gamer Subs. So shout out to Gamer Subs.
Moving on to Clark.
Yeah, shout out to our sponsors, TT. Shout out to my team, especially Jackie. Shout out to you guys for casting and providing coverage. Shout out to GANJA as well for playing really well.
Great, and we'll go to Dave.
Shout out everyone on KritzKast who's come in clutch with the coverage. this season. Shout out to the teams, put on a really good show, really good game. Glad to witness SDCK finally lose. No offense to you guys, but it's been a while. It's been coming.
I'm trying, Dave.
Big shout out to the audience and everyone who's come in with those subs as well. I think we had a 10 gifted sub from Nighty TF, huge from him.
Brilliant. Huggy, any shout outs from you?
Yeah, I mean, to my team, James, and the boys from Pills, the whole team. But shout out to my GANJA as well.
Brilliant. And finally, Likey, any shout outs from you?
Shout out to SDCK for having me for the past 4 seasons. Shout out to Clark. Shout out to Dick Sauce. Unfortunately, we couldn't get him his first season. Sucks, but whatever. Maybe next season he'll get it. And shout out to GANJA. You guys were amazing tonight. Like, actually so fun to play against. Yeah, that's it.
This was the grand final, and it was a momentous one as GANJA came out on top. We'll see you next time.
I love you, Lakey.
I love you.